Welcome back to Brothers Talking Sports. Today, we're here for Week 1 predictions. Ez, how we doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I don't feel so hot. My nose is kind of running, but, whatever, allergies.
Yeah, I could hear it in your voice.
I know.
So, that's not a lot of fun. All right, Ez, we can either start with the games we have here that we're going to go over. So this year, I just wanted to let you guys know, I should probably let you know first before I even start talking about any games. We're going to do pick'ems a little bit differently this year. We're going to, each game, there's going to be 7 games, 7 to 6 to 5, however many games we determine as the key games this week. This week there's 7, so there's 7 games. So each of those games will be worth 2 points. Now, all the other games will only be worth 1 point this week. What?
Oh, okay. Nothing. I was just going to say, you said 6, 7.
That's why you left.
I tried to stay quiet, but no. Yeah. You go 6 to 7, maybe 5 games. I was like, oh, God, already?
Oh, man. 6-7 joke right off the bat. All right. So we have a bunch of games this week that are 1-point games. We have a bunch of games. We have 7 games this week that are 2-point games. Do you want to start with the 1-point games?
Yeah, let's get those out of the way.
Okay.
I think we all think,
all right.
For the most part, we'll agree.
All right, you ready? Tampa Bay and Atlanta. Yeah. Now, this was on the game. This was on the fence of being a primetime game, but I decided to keep it out because it was week 1, and I already had 7 games, and I really kind of didn't want to go any higher than that. So,
I am going to take Tampa.
Okay, Tampa Bay. I'll take. I'll take Atlanta. All right, Cleveland and Cincinnati.
I really want to take the Browns just because the Bengals suck week 1, but I cannot do that. Cincinnati.
Yeah, Cincinnati as well. Okay, Miami and Indy.
Oof. Daniel Jones starting QB. I'll take Miami.
I think this game will be close, but I'll take Miami. Carolina and Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. Close game, though.
Jacksonville. I'll take Carolina.
If it's in Carolina, I might take Carolina.
Yeah, I'll take Carolina. That's fine. Raiders, Patriots.
I will take the Patriots.
New England. I am also going New England as well. Saints, Cardinals.
This is a no-brainer.
Yeah, I think we're both going Cardinals. Washington Giants.
Can we lock a game or doing that? I'm kidding. I'll take the Commanders.
There's no more locks and upsets.
Okay.
Titans and Denver.
The Broncos.
Denver. I'm also taking Denver. Week 1 rookie quarterback.
That might be a blowout.
Minnesota and Chicago.
Oh.
Another good one.
A pretty good game. In Chicago, J.J. McCarthy's NFL debut, I'm going to take the Bears.
The Bears. I'll take the Bears, too. Okay. All right. Now, let's get into our 2-point games here. I have to make sure I flip back and forth here between my notes. But let's start off with the Cowboys and the Eagles. Ez, do you want to kick us off? Do you want me to kick us off? What do we got?
I'm gonna let you. It was your idea to do the 2-point games. I like the idea. Let you have it.
All right, so 2-point games here. Cowboys, Eagles. Let's start off with the biggest news of the week. Micah Parsons has been traded away from the Dallas Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers. This is a great trade for the Green Bay Packers. I'm sorry, terrible trade for the Cowboys. The Cowboys are they essentially have no pass rush now. Get Kenny Clark with a little bit more help on the interior, which is great for them. But honestly, you just gave up a top 5 pass rusher. I mean, how stupid could you be? Over $6 million in difference. Jerry wanted 41.5, and the Packers gave him 47, so it was about $6 to $5 million difference. Probably maybe was closer. Jerry would have given 43 by the end of it. So honestly, it was just ridiculous how all this happened. Green Bay ends up with a fantastic player. Let's talk more about the Cowboys. They have no pass rush now. I mean, the Cowboys, I was already going to talk about how their pass rush and their defensive line was lacking without Micah Parsons. Now they lose Micah Parsons entirely. I really just I don't know how the Cowboys are really going to get through the season without him. And this is a few days before the season opener, and you have not your best player just left, got traded away. I just don't know how the Cowboys even recover from this in the entire season. I know you had him no training camp, none of that, but at the same time, I'm going to find it very hard for the Dallas Cowboys to get through this season with no Micah Parsons.
You hit the nail right on the head. They screwed themselves. Shot themselves in the foot, gave up Micah Parsons. Yeah, they got Kenny Clark in 2 first, but really? You're going to now go to try and play Philly with no run defense, no defensive line, no pass rush. Sure, Kenny Clark. Okay, great. Good luck. They're going to get steamrolled. I will take Philly by the points and by a lot.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of things I wrote down here. Osi Ujenjuwa has to be spectacular. That's what I wrote before. Micah Parsons even got traded. Now he has Kenny Clark, so now he'll be okay and doesn't have to play as well for the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys, they weren't very good run defenders last year. With Kenny Clark, I expect him to be better. Now they don't have to play Mazi Smith, who was terrible last year for the Cowboys, so that will help out the Cowboys a lot. Let's talk about the Cowboys offense. The Cowboys offense passes the ball 63% of the time. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens. I'm really worried about this run game. I'm not sure how it's going to go. Honestly, I'm not sure if Brian Schottenheimer is going to run the ball a lot. They ran the West Coast offense last year. I'm not sure what they're doing this year, whether they've completely scrapped that, because Brian Schottenheimer was on this staff last year, so I'm not sure whether he's just kind of, revamping Mike McCarthy's playbook. I'm not sure, but I knew they weren't going to run the ball last year. They're going to probably pass that 63% last year. It's probably even going to go up now with the addition of George Pickens and having Javonte Williams as your running back. This should go up. They should have probably closer to 65% this year. I mean, I expect them to be one of the top teams in passing the ball. I think this offense is going to do an okay job this year, but against Philly, I just don't see it. I don't see them doing very much at all in this game. As
you mentioned, Dallas throwing the ball a lot, and their running back situation right now, you have Javonte Williams, Jaden Blue, who's a rookie, Miles Sanders, who's pretty washed up, and then a bunch of nobodies. So they don't really even have a stat in stone running back one. I mean, Javonte Williams, he'll probably get the most carries, and then who knows? Probably week 3 or 4. It'll probably hit the fan, and all that's going to be turned upside down. Yeah. And Philly played really well against KC last year in the Super Bowl. I know that was last season. They lost a couple guys, but we talked about it a couple weeks ago. It's still a similar Philly team. They're still going to play very well.
Yeah. For Philly, I really think they're going to do a great job this year. They're going to, especially against the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys are not a very good football team at this point without Micah Parsons. Since he's gone. They have 2 players that are essentially just kind of filling in for them this year, in Tyler Steen and Sidney Brown. Sidney Brown, he'll replace CJ Gardner-Johnson. So we'll see how he plays at safety this year. Tyler Steen, interesting to see how he'll fit in, I think, at right guard or center. I'm pretty sure he's going to play. So we'll see how he plays for the Eagles, but not too worries really outside of that. I think they're going to be a really good football team, and I think, honestly, if those rookies, those guys can fit in real well, I think they'll be okay. All right.
All right, let's move to Brazil.
Let's move to Brazil. Sorry, let me write down the... Let me write down what we got here for the games, because I don't
both
have
taking Philly.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Philly and Philly. You know what? This game, if Micah Parsons if I didn't decide that this was going to be a weekly game, a key game, if Micah Parsons didn't get traded, I probably just would have said, you know what, this game does not make it. But I put it on there anyway. Okay.
Yep. I don't blame you.
Chiefs, Chargers. Let's right into it. The Chiefs here coming off a Super Bowl loss week 1. Last year to the Philadelphia Eagles, getting blown out. The Chiefs pass the ball 34% of the time. I don't expect anything more than I expect probably that number to be the same, even go higher from last year. I think this Chiefs team is going to have to pass the ball and have to rely on it still with no running back and no kind of will to run the ball, especially. So Pat Mahomes and Xavier Worthy, I think, are really going to have to carry this offense in this game against the Chargers. But the good thing is the Chargers lost a couple guys here. Their defensive line should be good now. Their run defense with Poona Ford added, so I don't think the Chiefs really try to run the ball at all here. I think this is a Patrick Mahomes and Xavier Worthy game all day. Travis Kelce, maybe we'll see if he gets involved, how well he'll do. Another year going into, I'm pretty sure he's 35 or 30. I think he's 35 now. So we'll see how Travis Kelce really plays going into this game. Ez?
On the Chargers side, they have a tall task to go not only down to Brazil, but they have to go and beat the team that went to the Super Bowl last year. And yeah, they got embarrassed, but they have a lot to play for this year. And they do not want to start the year off on a bad note. Justin Herbert's going to have to play extremely well to be able to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And in the past, he has not been able to. He's never played bad. These games have always been a good game. It's always been close, but I just don't think he's got what it takes this year. I will take the Chiefs, and I'm very interested to see Omarion Hampton, how he plays for the Chiefs. The Chargers, sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, Omarion Hampton will be interesting to see how he plays with probably Najee Harris will play week 1. We'll see how much of a carry. I think it's just going to be Omarion Hampton, and Najee kind of gets a little bit of work in there. So I think that you'll see most of Omarion Hampton from them. A little worried about the corners for the Chargers here. Deontay Jackson, Cam Hart, and Tyreek Steele, he was good. Tyreek Steele was good last year, but the other two I'm a little worried about against this Chiefs offense. With Patrick Mahomes, with Xavier Worthy, those two, I think Xavier Worthy is going to have an even a bigger step this year than we thought last year. So I think he's going to have a really good game for them. Yeah, I mean, Poona Ford won't play. That's what it says in my notes.
Oof.
So, they lost Poona Ford to the Rams. I'm sorry. That's why I'm saying it. I don't know how good this run defense will be without Poona Ford. Yeah. So we'll see how they are without Poona Ford this week. Kingsley Sumata will be interesting to see at linebacker. We'll see how he plays this week, starting there for the Chargers. All right, so we're both taking the Chiefs, Ez?
Yep.
Okay. Hold on, let me flip. It's on a different page. I should probably just rip out the page at this point. That would be easier, right? Okay.
You'd think.
You would think, right? All right. So we both took in the Chiefs here. I'll take the Chiefs. Okay. Jets, Steelers, as you ready for the Jets?
I am. Well, no, I don't want to talk about the Jets.
Come on.
But let's do it.
You don't want to talk about the Jets?
It's just a boring, disappointing cycle. I feel bad.
They suck. All right. Well, Aaron Glenn's going to run. Aaron Glenn's going to run a lot of man coverage against the Pittsburgh Steelers this week. I expect DK Metcalf to have a huge game. I'd take the over on his prop. I'd take the over on anything. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a field day with Aaron Glenn in this defense because now I think the Jets defense is talented. I think they're good. But I think at the same time, I think Rodgers is just he's going to find Metcalf. He's going to find his guys and pick them apart this week because I know the Jets are going to run a lot of man coverage. That's what Aaron Glenn did last year all throughout when he was with the Lions. So I expect Aaron Rodgers just to pick apart this defense.
Yeah, you mentioned, I'll flip to the other side. The Jets with Justin Fields, he sucks under pressure. And the Steelers are going to take advantage of that and absolutely kill him this game. It's going to be a low-scoring game. I don't think we'll see a lot of touchdowns. Yes, Aaron Rodgers might light it up with DK Metcalf, but that might come to just a field goal. You know what I mean? Not a 40-point game out of the Steelers, but we will see. I think it's going to be a pretty boring defensive game back and forth. I will take the Steelers. I have no hope in the Jets here.
Yeah, I really have no hope in the Jets here. I'd take the Steelers by a lot here. Also, I think just this is a rookie offensive tackle in Armand Membu, and they're also going to have Mason Taylor play, who is the new tight end they drafted. So two new draftees are going to start in this game for the Jets. Will be interesting to see there. But you have Alex Highsmith. You have J.J. Watt and Cam Hayward. I don't know how the Jets are going to block all that. This is one of the best defensive lines in the league, and the Jets don't have a very good offensive line. I'm really worried for the Jets and Justin Fields being able to, make a lot of throws, make a lot of plays. I really think this is the Steelers here. They win this one pretty convincingly too. I just don't see a way the Jets can get away here. Justin Fields, I have a stat here. Justin Fields under with a clean pocket had a rating of 104.9. His rating under pressure was 65.7. And I'm telling you, the Steelers are going to get pressure all day. There's no way the Jets are able to do anything on offense through the air. I think Garrett Wilson and all these Jets players will have a very tough time against the Steelers. Anything else, says?
No.
He's like, yeah, you know what? Just about, the Jets suck.
I like it being a game that's worth 2 points. I just don't think it's going to be a very good game. It's more of the storyline of Rodgers going back to MetLife.
Yeah, that is really the storyline, honestly, in this game. That's why I kind of put it in the. There's probably games that are probably better, like Tampa Bay and Atlanta, that maybe could have been better. But honestly, when you get down to it, this was kind of the game everybody is going to watch because of Aaron Rodgers. All right, here, let's move on to the 49ers and Seahawks. Ez, why don't you start with this one?
So, the Seahawks are underdogs while playing at home against the Niners, which I'm very confused looking into it. I understand the Niners actually have a pretty easy schedule, and the Seahawks do have a lot of question marks moving into the season. But the Niners defense, Niners offense for passing the football. We've mentioned they don't have depth. They are very shorthanded with their receivers. You're pretty much relying on Ricky Pearsall and Brock Purdy. And Brock Purdy cannot play well against the Seahawks. It's going to be a tough day for the 49ers to move the ball and successfully score. Thankfully, you do have a healthy Chris McCaffrey. But your wide receiver, too, is Jawan Jennings. And yet, you have Brandon Ayuk, who's on the pup list and will not be playing. So you have like two receivers, which really they are receiver 2 and 3s on most teams. I don't think this will be a great game to watch. It might be a close game, but I'm not too sure why the Seahawks are home underdogs. I will take the Seahawks in this game to get it done against the Niners.
Well, the 49ers will have to rely on their one and only Christian McCaffrey throughout this entire game. They don't have Brandon Ayuk. They lost Deebo Samuel. They're going to have to rely on him and George Kittle this week. Really, hopefully, they hope Ricky Pearsall and Jawan Jennings are able to step up into those huge roles. And, two guys that aren't there at the one guy that isn't there at the moment, one guy they traded away. So you hope that those two guys can step up for them, but we'll see. I honestly really think that this is going to be – Seattle's going to have a really good day. I think Seattle's going to go out there. They're going to beat the Niners. I don't have too much worry, especially on the defensive side of the ball for the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are going to contain him. Brock Purdy, last game he played the Seahawks, he was 159 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So I just think that the 49ers here are going to struggle in this game. They've had offseason problems. I think they're going to come into the gate slowly. The Seahawks – now, let's flip to the Seahawks. The Seahawks do not have a very good offensive line. They have a new quarterback. They traded away 2 receivers this offseason. This is a completely new offense for the Seattle Seahawks this year. Cooper Kupp, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Sam Darnold, how will they play? This is a lot of what ifs week 1. We're seeing how will these guys play? How are they going to match up? But I think Seattle's going to do kind of the same thing relatively of what they did last year. But I think they're a better team with a better defense. They hope that Greg Zabel can hopefully upgrade the offensive line a little bit. Nick Imamori will play for them. We'll see how he plays as well for the Seattle Seahawks. It's a lot of ifs, but this Seattle Seahawks is a very good pass rush, very strong with Leonard Williams and some other guys they got up front there. So and really good corners in Tariq Woolen and Devon Witherspoon. So I think the Seattle Seahawks are going to take this one here. I would take them with the points and everything as well at home. It's in Seattle. It's a really tough place to play. I really like Seattle in this one. I agree. And
I mean, the only way the 49ers are able to get out of this one and win in Seattle is on the back of Chris McCaffrey. Yes, you do have George Kittle, like you mentioned, but realistically, it is going to be a Chris McCaffrey show if the Niners are able to squeak this one out, which I don't see happen.
I don't either. All right, let's get into the big next two games are probably the big ones of the week here. Let's now talk about. Okay, hold on. 2 seconds. Okay. Let's now talk about Lions-Packers here. Micah Parsons, of course, traded to the Green Bay Packers. I think realistically, this makes Green Bay right on the bubble of a Super Bowl contender if they're able to hopefully maybe get a corner at the deadline. And if a wide receiver one steps up for them, I think the Green Bay Packers are definitely a Super Bowl contender. But losing Jair hurts. Still not, I mean, having a really good pass rush now, Rashawn Gary and Micah Parsons, I think they'll be really, really good. I think Green Bay's, pass rush is now one of the best in the NFL. But I'm still have concerns about corner and wide receiver one, which are some of the most top five, probably important positions in the NFL right now. So I really do worry about that, but I think I really love the rest of their roster. I think they're going to rely on Josh Jacobs again, and hopefully that a wide receiver steps up for the Green Bay Packers. Ez?
You mentioned Micah Parsons, but I wanted to get into the receiver room for the Green Bay Packers, and I will touch on at the very end how I'm not crazy for taking the Packers to go to the Super Bowl.
Well, now you're
but now you
not.
mentioned exactly. Now I didn't see Micah Parsons going to Green Bay, but now I feel like a genius. So yeah, Green Bay, you pretty much have like 4 wide receiver ones that could be wide receiver ones, and it's a big question mark of who's going to take over that role. But I think they're going to be able to spread the ball out very well and pick apart the very good Lions defense. And yes, the Lions were killed with injuries last year, and their defense, as you wrote, was decimated by injuries, but they are still going to play well. It's still going to be a very good game back and forth. Fun fact of the day for my pick, and part of why I'm taking the Green Bay Packers. The Packers have won 12 straight home openers and are at home to open their season. ESPN has them at 2.5-point favorite. I think it will be a one-score game like they have, maybe by 3 or 2. But we don't have to bet the spread. I'm just betting it outright. So I will take the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I think Jared Goff's going to have a really good day, especially if it's sunny out in this time and everything like that. As long as no rain and anything like that, I think he's going to have a really good day because these corners are terrible. I mean, they got Keyshawn Nixon and Corey Valentine starting this week because they've lost Nate Hobbs, and I really worry about the Green Bay Packers secondary going into week 1. I feel like they're not going to come too prepared, but at the same time here, this is a new Lions team, right? I mean, they lost 2 offensive coordinators. They lost a couple guys. They lost their quarterback coach. The Lions lost a lot of key, not pieces, but pieces to their coaching staff. So I'm really worried going into this game how that will happen, what will happen. Will they continue to call the same plays? Will they change things up? All this and that. Jared Goff has done better indoors and outside. So like I said before, I think that the Green Bay Packers are really going to get after the quarterback in this game. Having close to two top. I mean, Rashawn Gary's on the border of top 10 pass rushers, but 2 really good pass rushers on the outside. Man, I don't even know. I think I'm going to go Green Bay here. I think it's going to be a good game here. I think this is actually. I would honestly say it's going to be. I think Jared Goff's going to pick them apart. I really do. I think they're going to pick the ball out fast. The Lions are going to scheme around how Green Bay's pass rush is going to really get after him. So I really think that now, I think Jared Goff's going to have a good game. I just think their defense isn't going to hold up well enough. It's week 1. Jordan Love's going to be ready. They're going to run the ball a lot. I'm gonna take the Packers, but this one could be a coin flip for me.
Now, would you think this might end up as a track meet?
No, I don't think so.
I agree. I was just curious.
I think that the Green Bay Packers are going to play a slower pace game than the Lions.
Yep. And you can see like a 21-17, 28-21.
Yeah, probably somewhere around there. I don't think it'll be a track meet. I don't think it'll be like 35, like the like their divisional round game was, where they're trying to score as many points as possible because they couldn't stop a nosebleed. But I don't think it'll be like that.
Well, let's move to a game that could be a track meet.
This one definitely could. You want to start with this one, Ez? Go right ahead.
I would love to. So we get a rematch of a very good AFC divisional round game where the Bills did come out last year on top. The Bills are home and they're favorites. Both teams are extremely good. We mentioned them in the past couple of weeks. I think both of us have the Bills going to the Super Bowl, or I have them winning the Super Bowl. You might have them losing to the Chiefs, I think. Either way, these two squads are going to be playoff teams. They are top 5 teams in the NFL, and they get to go at it in week 1. The Bills O-line has to win this game for them, and I don't think they're going to be able to. I will let you get into the specific player rundowns, but I'm going to take the Ravens in a very good Sunday Night Football game.
Yeah, this is going to be an elite one. I mean, you're talking about two juggernauts of a team, some of the best teams in the AFC. When it's all said and done this year, 2 elite quarterbacks, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, all going at it this week. I think these two teams are the best. These might be the 2 best teams in the AFC. I don't know, but here's what I do know: the Ravens' weakness is Trent Simpson. He's a starting linebacker for them. New next to Roquan Smith. How will he play? When you usually play next to a really good linebacker, usually you tend to step up. This is his first time playing, so we'll see how it happens for him here. Ravens have a new offensive guard in Andrew Voorhees, 7th-round pick. We'll see how he plays for the Ravens there. The Bills don't have the best wide receiver room, so that's really good for the Ravens because the Ravens are going to lock them down. I mean, I don't know what the Bills will do in this game. They're going to have to run the ball, a lot of play action to hopefully get maybe, off the man coverage so Josh Allen can maybe scramble. And because if Ravens lock up in man coverage, I don't see anybody getting open here. I mean, maybe Shakir with a little bit maybe, but I don't see too much here with these corners for the Baltimore Ravens are elite. I don't see the Bills getting too much done there, honestly. I worry about the Bills wide receivers. Like I said that. I worry about the Ravens offense. Worry about the Ravens wide receiver room as well. The Ravens do not have the best wide receivers in the NFL, but kind of lucky enough, the Bills have a really good defensive line. So the Bills have to be able to go out there and get after it. Rick Gregory, Rosix, and now Joey Bosa added on the Bills. So we'll see how that goes. Ed Oliver maybe could take a step up from last year. Didn't play the best, but we'll see how he does. They're going to have to get after it. You know why? Because if Lamar Jackson has enough time, he's going to find somebody open because his secondary for the Buffalo Bills is not the best. So either Lamar Jackson's going to take off with his legs or he's going to find a guy open. So this defensive line for the Bills is the key to winning this game. They have to be able to get home so that Lamar Jackson, A, doesn't have enough time, or B, can't scramble out of the pocket. So this is a big testament to the Bills' defensive line.
Yeah, I pretty much think whatever quarterback plays better is going to win this game. It's not great receiving rooms on either side. You have a very good running back for the Ravens. James Cook's a solid running back for Buffalo. Their defenses, I think the Ravens do have a better defense, but the Bills don't have a bad defense. It's not like they're going to play terribly. It's just going to come down to what quarterback can light it up just a little bit more.
All right, let's move on here to our who are we going with here? Sorry, I didn't even get your.
I took Baltimore.
You pick Baltimore. I also pick Baltimore. Okay, great. All right, Rams Texans is the last game here. Why don't you start with this one? Why don't you take this one here?
Alrighty. So you have your Super Bowl winning team as the Rams. We talked about that last week. They are favorites. They're 2.5-point favorites at home, and they are favorited for a very good reason. The Texans do not have Joe Mixon, and so you'd expect them to throw the ball more, which they already throw the ball quite a bit, 63% of the time. The Texans have a couple guys that are all questionable, which could hurt them a lot. Thankfully, we do have a week until the game, and they have time to get healthy. It's a great 4:30 game. It is in Englewood. I want to take the risky pick and take Houston here.
Okay, Houston's not too risky. Listen, I think this elite pass rush, again, I feel like every team's got an elite pass rush at this point, but these two are definitely top 5 pass rush duo in Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter. 2 great really pass rushers going to get after this week against the Rams. We'll see how that goes. The Rams have a very good, decent offensive line, and they run enough under shotgun and play action where it's going to slow them down a little bit. Screens to Kyron Williams as well. They're going to do a really good job of that, the Rams. Now, talking on the Rams side of things, I think this offense will explode. We'll have a really good day. I think they'll be able to hold back Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson just enough to be able to do well enough. This defense is very good for the Texans, though. They have good corners. Derek Stingley Jr. is elite also out there. So I really, it's going to be interesting to see what the Texans are able to do. They have their rookie from last year who was really good for the Texans. So we'll see. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, well, if he plays, we'll see. Colin Bullock will start for the Texans' first start. We'll see how he plays out there. He did not play very well last year in the minimal amount of snaps he got. The Texans do not have the best interior defensive line. So if the Rams are able to get inside and run the ball, they run the ball about 55% of this time inside on the concept. So if they're able to get inside and able to run the ball outside, maybe not too much handoffs on the outside to Kyron Williams where Danielle Hunter, Azil Al-Shire can come clean things up, I think it'll be really good if the Rams are able to pound the ball up the middle with some duos concept, stuff like that. I think that's the key to success for the Los Angeles Rams here.
So it sounds like you're taking your LA Rams.
I am taking the LA Rams in this one. I am taking the LA Rams. If I back them with the Super Bowl, there's no way. There's no way I can't not take them.
Well, I backed the Bills winning the Super Bowl and just took the Ravens.
Yeah, that's messed up, man. Nah, it's okay.
It's week 1. Anything happens.
That's true. Week 1 is a very shocking week and oh wow, this team beat this team beat that team. I think that's a really good way to put it. Also didn't think I touched on what?
Didn't New England beat Cincinnati last year in Cincinnati week 1?
Yes. Yeah,
that was one of those surprising, and it turned out that Cincinnati wasn't that good last year. They did have a tough season, but still, kind of a surprising week 1 example.
Yeah, I mean, this week, Ariante Smith. No. Oh my God, why can't I think of his name now? It's Ariante something. Playing left tackle for them for the Texans. We'll see how he plays. A new center comes in, and Jake Andrews. How will he play for the Texans? So this is a really revamped offensive line that's going up against Jared Verse, Brandon Fisk, Poona Ford. I mean, a really good Rams defensive line here. So I just really think that the Rams are one of the best teams in the NFL. I really don't see them losing to the Texans here. I have more question marks about the Texans this season than the Rams. So for me, Rams, I'll take the Rams, but it's a close one.
I actually think this will be a much better game than some are expecting. I'm hoping C.J. Stroud plays significantly better than he did last year, and I'm riding him to take this game.
Ez, do we have anything else?
No, I think that's about it.
All right. As I'm good as well. So thank you guys for listening and enjoying. If you did enjoy for a smidge of a second, hit the like and subscribe button. Very much appreciated. And we will see you guys next time.